Good day again. Today I'm continuing my guitar showing off video thing. So as I done a couple days ago, I was showing my Fender Stratocaster after receiving a few requests over the last little while to show off my guitar collection. So now this is kind of the crown jewel of the guitars. You can see custom Gibson case. I'll open it up. Got this nice velvet covering. Oops. Okay, so there we go. This is my Gibson Les Paul Studio. And in case you're wondering why it looks a little odd, perhaps, compared to most guitars, is, as I said in the last video, I am left-handed. So, this particular guitar, just take it out here, we can get a closer look at it. So this was purchased back in 2004. Back when, and yes, we really need to repaper this room. I'm sure someone will notice it actually looks like a bunny rabbit. I'm really getting off track here. So anyway, so here's the, like I said, the Gibson Les Paul. Bought this back in 2004, back when I was still playing in a band on a professional basis. So it's actually the last electric guitar I purchased, by far the most expensive. Purchased at Steve's Guitars, or was it Steve's Guitars? Steve's Guitars, Steve's Music, Steve's whatever it is in Toronto. It was actually the only place in the country where I could find this. I took off one morning, about a 2-hour drive from London, Ontario to Toronto, tried it out, picked it up, spent forever trying to pay it off. But anyways, so I've before this I'd actually used Les Pauls, but not the actual Gibson Les Paul, or under the Gibson name. I had previously 2 Epiphone Les Pauls, which is still the same company, but it's kind of their low-end guitars, even though for low-end they still cost between $700 and $900. One of them got stolen. The other one I traded in a long time ago, actually, for my other Fender Stratocaster. And then eventually picked up this one. Now, main differences between it. Now, this guitar is very solid. It's also rather heavy, even though the studio class is the lighter of the Les Pauls. But this guitar right here is solid mahogany, just one solid piece of wood. It's got an amazingly thick sound to it. Now, in terms of comfort on stage, it's not quite as comfortable to play as the Fender Stratocaster, mainly because the Strat is, given for the 1950s, I guess you'd call it ergonomically designed for the stage. So that one it's easier to move around with this. Also because it's so expensive, I was always worried about trashing it on stage and stuff like that. But in terms of sound, it's very, very difficult to beat the Les Paul. The sound is very different from the Fender Stratocaster. With the Strat, generally, it's a very thin sound. With the Les Paul, mainly because of the thickness of the body, it has a very, very full sound to it. Also, no single coil pickups. They all come with the humbuckers. Very standard bridge setup, just like the Fender Stratocaster. My other guitar, or my third guitar I should say, which I'm going to profile in another video, is my Ibanez, which with a Floyd Rose floating bridge, and that thing has always been just a nightmare to deal with. It's actually, out of the 3, the one that I use less. This, especially for recording, I tend to use most often. In fact, for the album that I recorded recently, it's the only one that I've used one guitar all the way through, and the entire thing was recorded with my Les Paul. First, I guess, album or compilation of songs I've ever recorded where, you know, a Fender Stratocaster doesn't at least make one appearance. Anyway, so that is my Les Paul. Over here, we'll seal it back up again. So yeah, so I hope the people that requested it enjoyed the video or whatever. If you have any more questions or anything about it, just drop me a line and I will respond. And I still have a few other pieces of music equipment that I want to feature, which I will do again in the near future. But other than that, thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.